Today I'm going to tell you about mediastinum. So what is mediastinum? Mediastinum is the space between the two lungs in the thoracic cavity. It is basically the central space between the two lungs in the thoracic cavity. So if we remove the lungs, this central space that you can see is the mediastinum. So mediastinum is further subdivided into a superior mediastinum and an inferior mediastinum. This line between the manubrium sterni and the body of the sternum is the manubriosternal joint. A line, an imaginary line passing from here till the body of the fourth thoracic vertebra makes the transverse thoracic plane. The part above this line is the superior mediastinum and the part below this is the inferior mediastinum. So first of all, we'll discuss the superior mediastinum. The superior mediastinum is bounded anteriorly by the manubrium sterni, posteriorly by the first four thoracic vertebrae, and on each side is the mediastinal pleura. The contents of superior mediastinum are this thymus, this arch of aorta, the brachiocephalic veins, this trachea, esophagus behind it, and the lymphatics. The phrenic nerve, this vagus nerve, and the left recurrent laryngeal nerve. These are the contents of the superior mediastinum. The inferior mediastinum is bounded anteriorly by the body of the sternum, posteriorly by the lower 8 thoracic vertebrae, and on both sides by the mediastinal pleura. The inferior mediastinum is further and superiorly by the transverse thoracic plane. Inferiorly it has the diaphragm. So it is further subdivided into three mediastina: the anterior mediastinum, middle mediastinum, and the posterior mediastinum. Anterior mediastinum is bounded anteriorly by the body of the sternum and posteriorly by the pericardium. Middle mediastinum is entirely covered with heart and pericardium, and the posterior mediastinum is bounded anteriorly by pericardium and posteriorly by the lower 8 thoracic vertebrae. So first of all, we'll discuss the anterior mediastinum. It is this space in front of the pericardium and heart. It includes the thymus, lower part of thymus, and the sternopericardial ligaments. The middle mediastinum has heart surrounded by the pericardium, and it also has all the large vessels entering or leaving the heart. In addition to that, we have the cardiac plexus on the surface of the heart. This is also included in the middle mediastinum. Now coming to the posterior mediastinum, we have the descending thoracic aorta, the hemiazygous vein, the azygous vein, thoracic duct, esophagus, and the sympathetic trunk. These are the contents of the posterior mediastinum. So in summary, the boundaries of the mediastinum are anteriorly the manubrium and body of the sternum, posteriorly the 12th thoracic vertebrae, superiorly this root of the neck, it enters into the root of the neck, also called the thoracic outlet, and inferiorly the diaphragm. This plane, the transverse thoracic plane, is dividing it into superior and inferior mediastina, as we have discussed earlier.